More pressure today on the CIF over its rules allowing a transgender high school athlete to compete. The track and field championships start tomorrow in Fresno County, and the results are bound to be watched across the country. NBC4's Jonathan Gonzalez is in our News Operations Center with the latest. Jonathan.
Yeah, Carolyn, a lot of attention nationwide on this. The CIF state and track and field championships are set to be held in Clovis beginning tomorrow, but some local officials there are calling on the CIF as a last-ditch effort to not allow any transgender athletes, including one we've been talking to from Jurupa Valley, to compete against biological girls. On the eve of the CIF State Track and Field Championships in Clovis, several local and state officials there called on the CIF to change its rules allowing a transgender athlete to compete against biological girls.
We should be focused on celebrating their hard work and accomplishments. But because the CIF, Governor Newsom, and the state legislature have failed our female athletes, there is a distraction that hangs like a cloud over this weekend's events.
It's all regarding the inclusion of Jurupa Valley High's A.B. Hernandez, a transgender athlete who recently beat biological girls in 2 events to qualify for the state championships. The case has caught national attention after the girls who came in second place to Hernandez criticized the CIF for allowing Hernandez to compete against them.
The legislature has had multiple opportunities to take up bills presented by Republican lawmakers and rectify this situation. Instead, they rejected these common sense proposals and drove California headfirst into this embarrassing situation.
The leaders who spoke today echoed the sentiment of President Trump, who is threatening to withhold funding for California schools for allowing trans athletes and girls in women's sports. On Wednesday, the Department of Justice announced a Title IX investigation into state officials, the Jurupa Unified School District, and the CIF.
It is fundamentally unfair to allow biological boys to compete against girls. That's not my words. Those are the words of the governor of the state of California. So our position is consistent with his and Title IX.
Prior to the investigation, the CIF announced it will now allow any girls who finish second to a trans athlete to compete at the state championships and will now score in 3 categories: biological male, biological female, and transgender athletes. Federal officials say they will review those changes, but transgender advocates say it's discriminatory not to allow Hernandez to compete.
When we talk about fairness, we have to ask ourselves, fair for who, right? Like, is it fair to exclude a young person who is following all the rules, showing up every day to train and competing with integrity simply because of who they are?
Now, there is no indication the CIF will be altering its latest plans ahead of the state championships. We did reach out to them for a comment. They have not gotten back to us yet. Now, the state track and field championships will run from tomorrow through Saturday, and the father of at least one of the girls who came in second place to Hernandez, Katie McGinnis of La Cañada, says his daughter will be competing. Kathy?
All right, Jonathan, thank you.